to my channel. So today I have a video on PENHALIGON'S, a brand that I've not covered for a few years. I have some of the new releases, some of their discovery sets, so I'm going to just be taking you through a number of the fragrances in the brand. I know Cleopatra's featured in a few of my videos since we got her the other week, but here is Caesar. He looks very similar to her. He's actually been ill and he was sort of hiding and sleeping for a few days, but he's getting better now. He had a virus which was making him very unhappy, but he's having daily injections and he's really perked up. And then here is Cleopatra. Here she is, my beautiful baby. So you can follow them at Soki Cats on social media. If you are new here, then hello, welcome. I'm all about perfumes. I have hundreds of videos like this going through ranges, new releases, perfume notes, so do check out my other videos. And if you are a regular viewer, do make sure you're subscribed and give the video a thumbs up, that really helps me. And this video is actually sponsored by PENHALIGON'S because they wanted me to let you know about some offers that they have on at the moment. So let me take you through them. They're basically all to receive complimentary things with your order. So for the US, and for the EU, you're going to get a complimentary 10ml fragrance trio with any orders over $160 or 160 euros in the EU. And the code that you need to use in the US and the EU is called Blooming Spring, and that offer expires on the 10th of March. So there's just a few days left for that. You can get the same fragrance trio with orders over £140 in the UK, and it's a different code. The code is Mother Nature, and that is exactly what I did. So the fragrance trio comes in this PENHALIGON'S pouch. It's a nice sort of canvas material, and what I got was a 10ml of Hal Fetti, 10ml of Luna, and a 10ml of Empress. So some of their best sellers there. So you get this, which is really cute. Obviously we have Mother's Day coming up in a few days in the UK, so all the details will be down below in the description box to those offers. So we might as well dive in and start with these three. So Empress is probably one of the most famous PENHALIGON'S, but before we get into the fragrances, let's talk a little bit about the brand. So PENHALIGON'S originally a British barber shop in London dating back to the 1800s, so it's been going a long time. I believe it was burnt down in the Great Fire of London, but they carried on making fragrances. In the 21st century it was bought by private equity, who then sold it in 2015 to Puig. If you saw my video the other day on who makes your fragrance, I'll leave it linked below. You'll know that all the big fragrances are made by like even bigger companies. So their current PENHALIGON'S is owned by Puig, which is a Spanish brand, and they bought it at the same time as L'Artisan Perfumer. And I think Puig really expanding into the more prestige type fragrances. Whereas in the past they tend to focus on more designer and more affordable fragrances. So Puig make Nina Ricci, they make Paco Rabanne, they make the Barbie fragrance. But I think they're trying to buy these prestige brands to get more into that market. So obviously the presentation, the marketing is very beautiful, traditional English, but this is a multinational, multi-million-pound company. So I also bought the Solaris fragrance, which I really wanted to try. So let's start off with that first. This is a 30ml eau de parfum. This is how they come in these very traditional like apothecary type glass bottles. So this is a pretty white floral fragrance. The main notes I get in here are ylang ylang and tiare flower. So I guess the name Solaris makes you kind of think of the sun. So you've got some fresh lemon, neroli scents in there. So I actually think this is probably my favorite, or at least one of my favorites from PENHALIGON'S. It only came out last year and it's a very wearable, fresh spring summer fragrance. Ylang ylang is like tiare flower, quite a tropical note. It kind of gives me a little bit of vibes of Soleil Crystal in the La Vie Belle range, but it doesn't have the coconut. It does have a hint of vanilla and sandalwood, which gives it a creamy base, but it's certainly not sweet, and I can't really distinctly smell the vanilla. It's the tiare flower, which is quite tropical, and then ylang ylang, which is like a fresh floral, but it's quite a strong floral ylang ylang. And they've put some jasmine in here as well, which is going to help it last. So I'd say if you are looking for gifting or for something that's just like a fresh, everyday spring summer scent, this is very wearable. The sort of lasting power I find is sort of medium, hence why I think it's more spring summer. It's not very heavy, but it is an eau de parfum, so you do get a good few hours out of it. So this is definitely one of my favorites. I think if we go to the 3 10mls that you get in the deal, Empress is probably one of their best known fragrances. To me, this smells very similar to Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. It is more expensive than Coco Mademoiselle though. So it opens with citrus, just like Coco Mademoiselle does. We then get a rose heart and that patchouli base, and that combination of citrus, rose, patchouli is a classic Chypre fragrance that's in the new Miss Dior Parfum. It's in my Empress, it's in Coco Mademoiselle. A lot of really like famous perfumes have that Chypre like 3-layer citrus, rose, patchouli combination. It feels very, very feminine, and honestly, to me, this smells just like Coco Mademoiselle. I think you could wear this throughout the year. It's a little bit stronger than the Solaris. It's got a little bit more body. Patchouli is known for helping perfumes really last and have strength. Again, it is an eau de parfum. And honestly, to me, it just smells exactly like Coco Mademoiselle. So perhaps if you know someone that wears Coco Mademoiselle and they might like a change, this could be a really cute gift. So the next one is Luna. So Luna, in my view, is one of the lighter Penhaligon's fragrances. It's an eau de toilette. And what I get plenty of citrus, quite sharp citrus. It feels quite unisex. And then you get a sort of fir and juniper berry note. So kind of like being outside, green, forest vibes. I would describe this as like a citrus green, a citrus outdoors fresh perfume, something that I would recommend more for the summer months when you want something very uplifting. And as it develops, you also get a rose coming through, and this is a rose kind of like a rose water, like kind of like the Body Shop British rose that they do, sort of watery rose. It's not musky, it's not powdery, and again, it feels very green, watery, outdoorsy. So this is definitely one of their more delicate, pretty fragrance. Eau de toilette means that it's probably about 5% perfume concentration, whereas eau de parfums will be 10 to 20%. I did do a video just on this recently. So definitely something you'd want to be topping up throughout the day, and something I'd definitely recommend as a unisex summer scent. And then the other one that you get is Hal Fetti. So this is another one of their bestsellers. Again, this is unisex, though I personally find that it leans more towards a male type fragrance. It is a woody, spicy perfume. This one smells quite expensive. Like, you really feel like you're getting an expensive fragrance here. It's woody, it's deep, it's leathery. There is an oud note in here, but it does overall feel more woody than it does oudy. We've got cedar, sandalwood. I get some nutmeg, which lifts it a bit. Cypress and cardamom, again, lifting it. I think this would be really lovely on a man. I think you could wear this during the day. I'd say just don't use too many sprays, and then maybe a little bit more for the evening. But I can see why this is one of their best sellers. It's a really fancy smelling, expensive, complex, deep male fragrance. So if we continue on, this is their Scent Library Discovery Box. So it comes with all these pretty balloons. Again, it's like a canvas feel. So you get this description of what's in there. So this has Hal Fetti that we just smelled. Hal Fetti then has 2 versions of it. We have Hal Fetti Cedar and Hal Fetti Leather. So as the name suggests, Hal Fetti Cedar does have more of those cedarwood notes in. It also has some dried fruit notes in, so it's a teeny bit fruity, but in a very warm, deep way. We've got some rum and some cinnamon in here as well. So to me, this is like a balmy cedar. It's not really a fresh green. It's deeper, it's warmer. I do think this is relatively unisex if you're a lady that likes to wear more woody, deep fragrances. And it's an eau de parfum, but it does have good lasting power. The one that's really strong is Hal Fetti Leather. This is probably one of the strongest leather perfumes I've ever come across. So if you do like leather in perfumes and you're looking for like the ultimate leather, I would say that's what this is. Even the bottle, the liquid is like almost black. So it's deep, deep leather, oud, incense, all those heavy perfume note ingredients. cumin, plum, nutmeg, really, really leather. It's like literally having a leather jacket and smelling that like a biker leather jacket. I think it's really quite sexy on a man, this, but definitely one I'd say that's more for the evening, for date night. I think during the day to the office, this might be a little bit overwhelming. The next one is Cairo. So to me, Cairo is definitely on the same kind of lines as Hal Fetti. We've got woody tones, cedar, sandalwood, and we've also got patchouli and laburnum. So this is definitely one for fans of patchouli type scents. There's a hint of saffron, but it definitely feels that sort of exotic Egyptian, like going into a market or being around all the different smells of Cairo. I can see what they've done here. It feels a little bit lighter than Hal Fetti. Do you agree, Cleopatra? Yes. But definitely for the fans of those like spicy Middle Eastern type fragrances. So next we have Babylon. Now Babylon's actually predates the existence of Britain really. But Babylon was in what is modern day Iraq. I'm such an ancient history geek. So this has a similar vein, but it's definitely fresher and lighter. We have the same saffron, cypriol oil, but it feels lighter, fresher. It says it's an eau de parfum, but it almost feels like eau de toilette. It feels like something you could wear more in a warmer weather. I actually really like this one. It definitely doesn't feel that heavy. If you said it was an eau de toilette, I wouldn't be surprised. It feels more like a lunar level of concentration. It's kind of building now, but it's balmy. Here the saffron's really coming through to me in quite a pretty way. I'd say these are all quite unisex, but I'd say this one is definitely something that will be very wearable as a more like female scent. It smells very interesting, very classy. Like you definitely get those smells of the Orient, of the Middle East, but it's sort of lighter and more delicate, a little bit more pretty. I think that's my favorite of the more spicy ones. So next we have Constantinople, which is modern day Istanbul. This one is quite different. This one has a green freshness to it, but and also quite an aromatic feeling from some lavender. We've got geranium, we've got pine leaves. That's what's giving me a green, slightly floral feel. Then we've got that aromatic lavender, and there is a little bit of a powdery iris vanilla here, but it definitely feels unisex. This one feels much more calming, maybe like a weekend, daytime scent. The lavender is always like so relaxing in perfumes in my view. And again, it feels lighter, something perhaps more for the springtime. If you like your lavender perfumes, lavender is used a lot in male fragrances. Yeah, this is like the greenness of spring with the aromatic notes of lavender. And then the last one in this collection is Legacy of Petra. Petra is in Jordan. I have been to Petra. You can see that travel vlog of the visit on Soki Travels, my other YouTube channel. Really stunning, beautiful place. I can't recommend it enough as somewhere to visit. So this one has licorice in. We've also got myrrh in here and lots of balmy ambery notes. Definitely giving me vibes of the sort of Christmas Story, the gold, frankincense, myrrh. It's warm, but that licorice gives it a sweet, like Moorish, slightly gourmand feel to it. There aren't that many licorice perfumes. The YSL Black Opium Intense, the blue one that was discontinued, had licorice in. And I believe L'Artisan Parfumer have a licorice as well. But if you love the smell of licorice, this is the perfume for you. I'm definitely getting like 60% licorice in the scent there. And then they also included two samples actually, one of Hal Fetti and then one of Aula, which I think is a new one. This has just come out in 2024. It says, the wind whispers like al-Ulabai across swathes of desert and distant lands to an oasis born under sky and walls of sand. So this one also definitely has a Middle Eastern vibe to it. We've got that frankincense note. So again, that sort of Christmas Story, black pepper and some tobacco, which is really nice. Definitely of a similar nature to the Legacy of Petra and the Cairo. I definitely get black pepper. If you're a fan of black pepper, I think you'd like this. Kind of a little bit spicy, sharp. And then you've got cardamom in as well, which also makes it sharp. And then a plum and a frankincense, which kind of warm it a bit. And I definitely get tobacco. I do love tobacco in perfume, especially in a male perfume. Has a kind of green leafiness to it, but it's also very warm. So I definitely like this one. I think that would be lovely on a man. So we could then move on to this other set, which I think has quite a different vibe. This is Potions and Remedies. It says magic you can believe in for health, strength and vigor. So it's kind of like this sort of old apothecary back in, you know, Victorian times that would sell different potions. So in this one you get 5. So the first one is called Balm of Calm. Definitely is calming. It's an aromatic fragrance. We've got sage and lavender, so definitely giving me L'Occitane vibes, Provence vibes. There's a geranium. There's a cardamom as well, which is very fresh. Yeah, and vetiver as well. So this is very green, aromatic. Definitely, if you're looking for a balm of calm, it's very well named. Relaxing, simple. This is an eau de parfum. Clean, fresh, relaxing, nice after a shower or in the evening, you want to relax. So next up we have Kiss of Bliss. So this main note is matcha tea. I'm not sure about this. We've got some clover, we've got heliotrope, but it genuinely smells like getting a matcha tea from Starbucks or something. It feels a bit milky. Yeah, I'd say if you want to smell like matcha tea, then a Kiss of Bliss is for you. I'm not sure if I do. So next I've got Liquid Love. So this is a rose and pink pepper. This one feels very feminine. There's a freshness from some ginger. It says it has chili pepper in as well. I'm not really smelling that. But definitely at first a sort of very traditional rose. Pink pepper has a kind of rosy feel to it, feminine. I think this is definitely meant to be quite a romantic scent. Sort of pretty, feminine. Yeah, definitely one of their more feminine ones. These are all eau de parfums, but I'd say this one feels a little bit lighter. I guess it's sort of daytime feminine vibes. So next up we've got Vroom. Ooh, so this is definitely giving me Solaris vibes. We've got an oranginess in here. It's also got apricot in, which is really nice, gives it a fruity vibe. This is orangey, apricotty, fruity, fun, carefree, fruity orange vibes. Okay, this is definitely one of my favorites. I do love an orange perfume. And osmanthus in here as well. Osmanthus is a floral note that smells kind of like an orangey, apricotty, peachy smell. Yeah, I like that. You know, I'm a sucker for anything fruity. And then lastly we have Oh, the Audacity, which I think is another relatively new one. So this one feels very vanilla. It's probably the most vanilla I've smelled. There's an undertone of incense, but overall I'm getting vanilla. So this feels a little bit sweeter, gourmand, a little bit more sexy, perhaps a little bit more evening. I think you could layer this really well with some of the spicy ones to give it a more vanilla evening vibe. That's nice. It smells classy. Sometimes vanilla can be very sweet, whereas this feels more like buttery, warm vanilla. Okay, so they have quite a range. There are more than this. This is just what I ordered. I'd say my personal favourites, I love that Vroom because I love my orangey, fruity perfumes. I think Empress is great because it's like Coco Mademoiselle, it's really wearable. And I think the Hal Fetti ones for men are great as well. And these sort of Middle Eastern, Cairo, Babylon ones are all really interesting, especially if you like your more spicy, exotic fragrances. So don't forget about the different offers, the different codes. I'll write them in the description box, put them up on screen for UK, USA and the EU. And links will be down below in the description box to where you can get the Penhaligons perfumes all around the world. Do let me know what your favourite is from Penhaligons. I know they have so many. I'll leave the links to my videos on their portrait collection down below as well. But that's it guys, so thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!